Good morning and happy Wednesday to everybody. This is Coffee with Kelly for June 27th, 2018. I am here with my coffee. I brought coffee in a thermos from home because today is bike to work day and I rode my bike, which meant I only had time to have 1 cup of coffee before leaving the house. And so I packed a thermos. This is a new coffee blend I got locally at Free Leaf Boutique. Shout out to Free Leaf. It's a local roaster called Wander Coffee out of Fort Collins, and this blend is called Strawberries and Chocolate. It doesn't especially taste or smell like strawberries or chocolate, but it does smell like heaven in a little cup. It's a light roast, nice and light for summer. It has nice roasty notes, but without being heavy. So, delightful way to start my day. I also got a breakfast burrito at one of the breakfast stations for Bike to Work Day, so I am just on top of the world today. So, biking to work today got me thinking about a subject that sometimes comes up at Riley Law, where people contact me and ask, is my commute work time? In other words, do I have to be paid for my commute to work or my commute as part of my work? So, as a rule of thumb, typically not. We're not compensated for time that it takes to travel to and from home to get to work. That's sort of an expected part of the deal. And if your commute is long, the idea is that you'll just move closer to work to make that less burdensome. But the answer is yes, it's work time in certain circumstances. So, for example, my husband used to work doing construction, and when he had to carpool with the boss to go to somewhere really far away, it was usually his choice to do that. It just meant less time he had to spend driving. The boss didn't require it. If the boss requires carpooling to go to a job that's, let's say, 2 hours away to drive to get to this construction job, then I'm going to start leaning more towards saying that is work time. But if you're not required to carpool with the boss or ride in the company truck, probably it's not compensable time. The amount of time traveling to work and whether or not it's required to carpool or take the company truck are going to be factors I would consider in whether or not it's work time that needs to be compensated. The other area where this sometimes comes up is services. So, for example, your cable guy who comes to your house in the Comcast van to work on the cable system, that person may take that company van, the Comcast van, home at the end of each day. And if they leave directly from home to go to their first stop for the day, that might be compensable. That might be time that they have to be paid for when they're doing work. So I would want to talk to someone and get more details about that to determine whether or not that's time they should be paid for. The other area where this comes up is, again, that service industry where someone's coming to your house to do services like either sales where someone's traveling a lot between different locations to do in-person sales, or again, those services when they're traveling between jobs. That almost always is time that has to be compensated as part of a job, depending on whether or not that person is exempt from overtime and minimum wage violation or regulations. So you can see that this is a really complicated issue, and I have lots of questions to determine whether or not that is work time that you have to be compensated for. But because I was biking to work this morning, it was on my mind, and I wanted to share that with you and let you know that there are lots of questions that I have to ask, but it's definitely a conversation I would want to have with you if this is a significant part of your work week, is commuting to and from work. So thanks for joining me for Coffee with Kelly. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.